Hi everyone, I'm here with R U Srinivas, or RU as he's affectionately called, corporate honcho, promoter of the idli factory with the most incredible idlis, which sadly I understand you don't get anymore. Now a HR consultant, but most important, someone who can keep you in splits of laughter all the time. So over to RU.
Hi, Vinita. Good to be here.
I've known you from what?
76.
76? My God. Okay.
We both are revealing our ages here.
That's okay. That's okay. We've had some fun times together.
True.
And love to hear how you played. I remember your house in just off Anna Sala. Am I correct? What's the area called?
It's CIT Nagar, not to be confused with CIT Colony. East CIT Nagar, just off Mount Road. So you could kind of approach it from T Nagar. But in those days, you could just go from the T Nagar terminus straight onto Mount Road near Saidapet or Nandanam without taking these lefts. But now it's kind of a crowded. In those days, it was a deserted, quiet, sylvan island of peace
Where you played on the streets, I'm sure.
where we practically lived on the streets, right? Until you were dragged back home, you spent all your time on the streets and playing, running, cycling. We learned to cycle out there, fell a million times, and generally, burst crackers, had all sorts of fun, but it was all pretty much on completely quiet roads. Maybe in a day there would be 3 or 4 vehicles. By vehicles, I mean four-wheelers that would pass, but otherwise it was great fun. It was quiet and lovely.
And
those
today,
days.
how many vehicles pass on that road?
I have no idea how many now, but you talked about the idli factory. One of the reasons I moved the idli factory from CIT Nagar to Mylapore before I sold it was because it was so crowded. It would take me sometimes as much as 8 to 10 minutes just to cross the road.
My God.
Yeah, I mean that's how crowded it became. So it's quite a sad change over the last 40 years. But but growing up, it was
Great fun.
delightful and cannot imagine how quiet it was.
And what were the games you played there?
See, obviously the road games were too many to count. I mean, a lot of it involved a lot of running around and screaming in joy. And there were a lot of kids that I grew up with. So cricket, cycling, a lot of races, running races, cycling races, and all of that stuff. We did a lot of that. Kabaddi
Yeah, of
was
course.
a big one because
Yeah.
you had lots of space. You just use a chalk or just mark the territory with
a
your
few
slippers
stones or
or
slippers.
right? And kabaddi was a big thing. And of course, gilli,
Gilly.
right? Because within the house you couldn't play it; it'll hit something or.
So did you fashion your own gillies?
I'm trying to think where we used to get those sticks from, but probably
Probably
plucked
one of
off
the
one of the
trees.
trees. That was it. And talking about trees, I just remember how many trees were part of my childhood. You're constantly climbing some tree or the other.
Absolutely.
Sapota maram, manga maram, goya, nellika. All the neighborhood was filled with trees and pulyanga, all of that stuff. Then that star fruit.
Yeah.
So
You hardly see that anymore, star
we don't see
fruit.
that.
Yeah.
But I think a large part of our diets then were just
Plucked
fruits
from the
and
trees.
then rub it on your shirt for just because you pretend you've cleaned it and then you're eating it. There was no question of even washing it then.
Yeah.
And
Your shirts were probably dirtier than the fruit.
probably. And it was unbelievable.
But a large part of our games also were just plucked from the trees. I mean, we played with tamarind seeds, we
Yeah.
played with different types of seeds and
True.
twigs and,
True,
things
true.
like that. So,
And climbing trees and climbing walls were almost as common as walking and running.
absolutely.
So, I don't remember my neighbor's house. I don't even think I've once gone through the gate. It's always been over the wall. And on the other side, that neighbor where one house has now been replaced by a flat, I I think we only entered the house by climbing a tree because the front doors were always closed, but the first floor was always open.
So you just
So we would just
climb
climb
off
up
from
a
up a
tree
tree
and,
and go.
sunshades and pipes, and you kind of get in there, and so unreal. And my kids cannot even understand that life. They now need to, I mean, not, they're old now, but when they were growing up, even, they had to kind of book appointments to go see their friends.
Friends, yeah. Just walking into someone's house and just staying for a meal and all that has changed.
Yeah, I would stay for a meal, sleep there, and then come back because someone would come searching for me, saying, okay, boy missing for the last 8 hours, something or the other. So, yeah, so it was a very carefree childhood where I would say everybody belonged to the community. So every home was home, every child was our child.
Yeah.
Um,
Truly a village, literally.
literally, right? I mean, I don't think I knew that people owned things. I just thought everything I saw was mine. So that was the kind of.
Are you in touch with the friends you used to play with?
Two of them.
So you can give a shout out to them and probably share a memory of playing with them.
Yeah, I'm in regular touch with one of them and an on and off touch with the other. One of them actually still lives in the same neighborhood, and his son now is a TNPL cricketer.
Oh wow! Okay.
So he's kind of kept that cricket passion going and passed it on to the next gen. So yeah, I'm in touch with a couple of them. One of them, and the third one is now moved to Salem, but I don't know where the rest of them are. I don't think I'll recognize them if I see them.
But your memories never go, no? I mean, you always remember them because of the times you spent together.
Completely.
And I guess if you did meet them, you'll just be able to pick up like never before because that shared memory is always there. No,
there's so much to discuss, so much to laugh about.
Yeah.
We might pick up a bat and ball and try playing again.
Cricket again.
So, yeah, it was lovely times.
What about family, grandparents? You come from a fairly large family. Did you spend a lot of time playing with family?
So I had only one grandparent,
Okay.
right, which is my grandmother, who used to be in Delhi. And she used to come every summer because the Delhi summers were very hot. So she would come every summer to Chennai, out to Madras, as it was then called. When we were very young, the most memorable things were actually sometimes on the terrace where she would kind of have all the kids sitting around her and she'd tell us stories and feed us. I remember that very well. And then during the daytime, because it was too hot outside, you'd close all the windows and curtains, sit inside the house and play things like pallanguri, dayakata, and a few other things that I can't recall now. She actually, for someone of that generation, she played cards really well.
Oh wow! Okay.
So she played cards really well.
Maybe the Delhi
influence. And then with my siblings and friends when it was really hot outside, carom board was a big thing.
Yeah.
Chess, if you were a little bit more intellectually inclined. So those were some other games that were very popular. Yeah, so I think those were some of the games I think associate with family. Cards, carom, chess.
Pallanguri,
Pallanguri and all that stuff.
The brass dime falling on the floor.
Yes.
No? That sound is very much.
And if you didn't have the dayakata thing, she would actually
draw it on the ground, chalk piece on it.
And immediately you would kind of pick it up. So yeah.
And fight a lot?
I'm sure we did. I can't recall.
You can't recall?
I can't recall.
You had 4 older sisters. So
4 older sisters.
Did they bully you or did you fight with them?
They were terrible. So, so I was definitely the harassed one. But
I don't think anyone knowing you will believe that, but we'll take your word for it.
Yeah. But I'm sure we had our squabbles. and arguments and fights about a bunch of different things. But you broadly, the memories are one of a lot of fun and bonding and camaraderie
And very
stuff like that.
stress-free.
Very. Yeah.
It's like today's kids don't even know a life of no stress. I mean, everything is stress,
I think the only thing that probably was a cloud that would cast a cloud across was annual exams. So, and then that last day of annual exam was like the greatest day of the life. You would just throw everything in school and run. Because Bambaram was a big part of it. And some houses had a cemented pavement, front yard, right? So they would hate it because we would want the ani to be as sharp as possible.
And
so you would kind of keep banging it and the cement would fly out. So they would insist you go play in places where it was just sand.
Yeah.
And
sand won't spin properly.
It won't spin properly, but it won't cause damage. And this was a great thing. And then Katadi.
Katadi, of course.
And
on the beach?
No, we had a park right behind our house.
Okay.
And then the YMCA Nandanam, which was far more open and accessible in those days. Now I know there's a lot more control around who goes.
So it was open. Everyone could go there and
Anyone
play.
could go there. It was open to the planet.
Yeah.
So we would just go there and
Nice.
play there.
A lot of people flying kites there.
Some. But see, the YMCA was so big and this whole area was not that crowded. So even if everyone went, there was a corner for everyone there. You could go to Todenter Nagar and do it or somewhere else. And so Katari was a big one. But again, there were so many concerns because of the manja. Right? And you would always hear that one story where someone cut their hand or neck or something like that. And your parents would be like paranoid that you do that. And so you swear that, no, we are just doing regular kites.
And you made your own kites?
Yeah, we made our own kites. And then Bana Katadi.
What is Bana Katadi?
Bana Katadi was the slightly larger ones. And I'm trying to recall, I think they had one or two additional pieces of like a tail. And when you would lift it, it would make a noise as it soared, cutting through the air. So that's supposed to be, that was the macho thing. For these Bana Katadis and all of that. So yeah, all kinds of fun stuff. Once in a blue moon, we'd go to the beach. Not necessarily for kite flying, but going to the beach was
like a
treat.
Yeah.
And then having your patani sundal there.
Absolutely.
Just playing in the water and God knows how many kilos of sand you carry out of it. And it was just good fun. I mean, at that time, I don't think any of us worried about, the fact that you're walking out with so much sand. Today, people are fussy about, your
car will get dirty, house will get dirty, everything.
It's like you just come on it and it'll dry and fall out. And that's life. I mean, things will just dry out. So it's not a big deal. It's just sand.
It's all in the game.
It's all in the game. It's just sand. That's all. So yeah, those were
good times.
Some fun stuff.
Thanks, Jenu. And I think we're going to take you up on the challenge and gift you some paper and Fevicol and get you to make a Bana Katadi for us.
If I remember now how it
that's
goes.
going to be the challenge we're going to give you.
I know.
And if we do it, we'll add it to this video.
Done. Sounds good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Bye.